What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about a different organization in combat sports. I know we usually talk about UFC, but guess what? This is a new channel, so we really have the opportunity to grow this thing the way we see fit. So I believe you guys are going to enjoy this. So earlier this morning, I watched One Championship Friday Fights 109. Now, most of the country probably missed this fight because it came on at like 7:30 a.m. Central Time. But I was lucky enough to have caught some of the fight, most of the fight, I would say. So there was three MMA fights on this card. There was three kickboxing fights, and then there was 7 Muay Thai fights. Now, I wasn't able to catch any of the MMA fights or the kickboxing fights, but I saw all of the Muay Thai fights, and they were very interesting. And I just want to talk about them a little bit. So let's kind of get into the card. First up was Apawat Sumnuk versus Jacob Thompson. Now, for those of you who don't know these guys, I am going to put their pictures up on the video so you can at least see who we're talking about. A lot of these names are very hard to pronounce, so bear with me. So Jacob Thompson was the winner of Road to One UK. So very promising prospect. He's a bit younger than Sumnuk. And when the fight happened, round one, he came out very aggressive, right? I mean, pretty much rushed Sumnuk and was winning much of the first round. But Sumnuk's a vet. He's been around for a while. He's had a ton of fights. We'll get into that a little bit later. But he was able to withstand. He was able to withstand and endure, and he kind of turned some of those strikes back into counter strikes and just landed some really good stuff to ultimately defeat Jacob Thompson. So Jacob Thompson is a young guy. I think he's in his very early 20s, so he'll be just fine. So with that win, I'm looking down because I wrote some notes down. So we got to be prepared, boys. You know what I'm saying? With that win, Sumnuk's record is now 106-31. He's won 106 fights, lost 31. It's almost 150 fights. It's crazy. But that's nothing out of the ordinary with these Muay Thai fighters, right? Moving up the card, Camp Itawada Sithkul versus Alessio Malatesta. I know I'm butchering these names, but I you know what, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Alessio Malatesta is an Italian guy, and when I say Italian, I mean like really Italian, like Marvin Vittori Italian, like doesn't even speak English. And these are some more kids that are young. So real quick, I researched the ages of all the fighters, and I found something very interesting. The average age of each combatant on this fight card is 24 and a half years old. I mean, there was kids, a bunch of kids, 17 and 19 years old on this card. So, and I think that's something that we see a lot in the Muay Thai world, but I don't know, just really cool, especially to be in One Championship, right? Because a lot of their fighters are homegrown. They sign them early, and then they rise up through the ranks and can go on to become champions. So I think that's really cool. So in this fight, it was one of the more one-sided fights of the day. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The Italian Alessio Malatesta just completely overwhelmed Sithkul. And you could tell from the first bell that it was going to be a little bit too much for Sithkul to overcome. I mean, he was just too strong. He was just way too strong and way too aggressive. He put the pressure on from the first bell. He was able to put him away in round 2, had him up against the ropes, and just crumbled him with punches. Now, another interesting thing, so they were giving away $350,000, what I thought to be dollars, which I was like, damn, they're giving away this kind of money in One Championship. It wasn't. 350,000 baht, which is Vietnamese money, which translates to about $10,000 USD. Now, might not seem like a lot, but these are the guys that are like just coming into One or just had a few fights in One. And for people in Thailand, dude, this is life-changing money. And one of the fighters mentioned that later in the card, and we'll get into that. Moving right on up, to the atomweight Muay Thai match between, check this name out, Chitai Bangshan Fight Club. I'll repeat that. Chitai Bangshan Fight Club. That's how he's listed on the website. Versus Bernung Sor Salachip. That's some hard names. Bear with me. So as soon as Chitai Bang comes out, the crowd is going crazy. I mean, you would think that it was Justin Bieber walking out. So I did a little research to figure out who this kid is. And he's got like 500,000 followers on his Instagram. I don't know what he's got on other platforms. I'm sure he's got even more, but the crowd loves him. And Bernung, his opponent, both of these guys are from Thailand. His opponent felt like he could put him away with his right hand. He's got a really good, really strong right hand. And ultimately, he put the kid away with everything. I mean, everything was just too much. The elbows, the kicks, the punches, just too much pressure. So let's see. He overwhelmed him, finished the fight 2 minutes into round one with a beautiful kick to the face. It was an up kick to the face, kind of going around the guard almost. It was really a beautiful shot, and he was also a winner of the $350,000 bot. So shout out to Bernung Sor Salachip again. I'm gonna post pictures of these face-offs and of these guys' names so you can better know who I'm talking about. Moving up to a catch weight of 129 pounds Muay Thai was Din Green Guy versus Yo Tung Thai. Both guys out of Thailand. Now these guys, this is the first fight in Muay Thai where we saw two vets face off, because the other fights were the younger kids, but these guys have both had a ton of fights. And let's talk about it. So Green Guy won rounds 1 through 2 very decisively. It seemed like Young Tung Tai kind of started off a little bit slow, and you see that, like, it's real fast, these Muay Thai fights with some of these younger guys, and not just the younger guys, but sometimes with these veteran guys, the pace is a little bit slower because it's more of a chess match, if that makes any sense. But in the third round, Yo Tung Tai really started turning it on. And I think that he was able to have a lot of success because Din Green Guy probably knew that he had decisively won the first 2 rounds of that fight. And it got really exciting, though. In the last minute and a half of the third and final round, it got exciting. But ultimately, Din Green Guy was able to win by unanimous decision. Let's move on ahead. You're going to love this name. Super Jing T Dead 99 from Thailand versus Shama from... Okay, you know what I just figured out, guys? It says Super Bond training camp. So I think they might put the training camps that these guys train with their names. Because Super Bond is the featherweight kickboxing champion in one championship. So Shama trains with him. So Shama, with a name like Shama, you'd expect some really good shit, right? I know I did. So let's talk about this fight a little bit. Probably one of the most fun fights on the card. Super Jang did hurt Shama very early on in the fight. Put him down with a big right straight in the second round. But up until that point, it was pretty close. Now in the third round, Shama came out like a bullet out of a gun. I mean, he got 2 or 3 knockdowns of his own. And I believe he, after the uppercut he landed, he was able to secure the victory. He was also a winner of the $350,000 bot. Chatri's just throwing bot around like he's at the strip club or something. My God. After the fight, something really cool to notice. Super Bond, the featherweight kickboxing champion, did come into the ring to talk about Shama and his performance a little bit. And he mentioned that at one point, this kid had actually quit Muay Thai. He'd actually quit, given it up, said, you know what, this isn't for me. And he came back around, and Super Bond believes that this kid, Shama, could really be a legit contender in one. He was also asked about his potential unification of the title with Masaki Nawari. which is the current interim champion in that featherweight division for kickboxing. And he basically said, I'm excited and I'm ready. Let's do it in Japan. Let's do it in his backyard. So that'll be a fight to keep an eye out on. And I'm going to start talking about one a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I'm a big UFC guy, right? And I do watch some stuff on the regional scenes. I have friends who fight on the regional scene, so I pay attention. But one championship has always been something we watch from afar, right? We know who Stamp Fairtex is. We know who Rod Tang is. We know who Morales, I forget his first name, the guy who fought DJ Mighty Mouse 3 times. But a lot of these guys, you know, we just don't know about. And I think it's only right, as this being a combat sports channel, that we talk about some of these other promotions. So moving up to the co-main event, flyweight Muay Thai match, Wutakrai versus Imwe. Imwe was the aggressor early on in this fight. He pushed Wutakrai into the corner. He landed a bunch of glancing elbows and power punches. Guys, again, when I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes from me watching the fight. So just hang in there with me. Wutakrai landed some big elbows, big kicks to the body as well. And that kind of got him up, got Imwe off of him, because at first, like I said, Imwe was just on him like white on rice. And Wutakrai was able to land some big kicks to the body and kind of slowed down that pace a little bit. In the end of round 1, he drops Imwe with a big right hand on the chin. Imwe then gets back up. He answered the count, but Wutakrai then rushed him, absolutely bum rushed him and smothered him, finished him with knees to the body. Great victory. And after this fight, Wutakrai was mentioning how his family was not doing well financially. He could really use the bonus money, and he was awarded the money. This is a soft-spoken guy. He's one of the more quiet guys on the mic. You can tell he's really humble. So I am, after today, a big fan of Wutakrai. He did get the bonus, 350,000 baht, baby. Think of all the possibilities you can do with 350,000 watt. Moving up to the main event. This was probably the best chess match, best performance of the night. And it was the main event for a reason. Yad IQ versus Bryce Del Val. A bantamweight Muay Thai match. So, in the very first round of this fight, Yad IQ was getting a little bit overwhelmed. A bit of a height difference. They're both listed at 5'10". Somebody's lying, because they were not 5'10". Bryce Del Val was a little bit taller than Yad IQ, and it showed. I mean, he was able to kind of keep him at distance. Now, Yad IQ did some good things in the first round, but I believe that Del Val did enough to win it decisively. In the last minute or so, there was a punch that landed on Yad IQ, and he kind of tripped. It wasn't ruled a knockdown, but after he got back up, you could just tell he was very visibly frustrated. So the bell rings, go into round 2, and Yad IQ starts turning it up just a little bit. I mean, in the very first round, he starts to land, in the very first minute of the second round, he started landing much bigger shots. He started to have an answer for Bryce Del Val, but Del Val was still landing his jab pretty good, and he was the aggressor. But the problem that I saw was that being that aggressor and being able to land that jab so frequently, he kept moving forward, but he kind of walked into some bigger counter strikes. And towards the end of the second round, there was a bad eye poke, and they took like a 2-minute break and resumed the fight with like a minute, 30 seconds left in the round, something like that. And Yad IQ kind of smothered him. So he had busted him up in the end of the round, and then eye poked him in the same eye that got busted up. So now at this point, Bryce Del Val is compromised, right? So going into the third round, it's more of the same from the second. Yad IQ just continues to do what he was doing in the second round. Very aggressive, landing big shots. And then another eye poke lands. This time the referee doesn't do a timeout. He just says, hey, keep fighting, buddy. And Yad IQ pours it on him. He jumps on him and tries to get him out of there. Shout out to Bryce Del Val for surviving. This fight did go to unanimous decision. Yad IQ did get the victory, like I said. Probably one of the funner fights not funner, just more competitive fights on the card. There's a lot of finishes on this card. And my overall take from watching these Muay Thai performances is, man, these guys can really take some elbows with world class. Like, you know, and you see guys in the UFC, like, they're tough too. Like, you know what I mean? But these guys, these Muay Thai fighters, there's just it seems like a different conditioning. You know what I mean? So, very good card. I think One Championship might do these kind of cards every Friday, and if so, it's going to be something that I'm going to try and watch and try to do videos on. So, yeah, that kind of wraps up the card.